Oh, okay. So this is my natural segue. We're going to explore this together. I have this queued up, but I don't know it exactly off the top of my head. This guy is named Kayla or Pranavi Kalavtama Lorai or Jacob Lorai. He's a tranny and he's digging a tunnel illegally. Under his home, he has been digging tunnels, and the government, this local city governance, is very upset about this. Let's watch some of these videos.
It's just been over a year since I started building my underground tunnel system. This is a one-year recap. In August of 22, I cut an opening off the side of the sub-basement and started to carve into the solid rock. Fabricated an elevator to lift material, 1,000 pounds at a time. As the entrance tunnel stretched longer and deeper, I bought an electric yard cart and converted it into a mine cart. I used hundreds of concrete blocks and yards of hand-mixed concrete for the 30-foot entrance tunnel. As it got deeper underground, I ran into a lot of groundwater and a spring which made work harder and required constant pumping. Eventually, I set up a sump basin and a pump which is keeping the system dry.
Oh, he hit an aquifer. Those are difficult to deal with. You usually have to pour lava into it, and then you can dig through the granite that forms to get underneath the aquifer. It's very difficult, and you have to find pump stone to make parts with that are lava proof.
Set up a blower and air duct for ventilation. The main chamber is 22 feet below ground, and I set up rebar lattice work and a steel form to pour concrete with a trailer pump. One of the forms failed and the concrete bulge needed to be removed, which was affectionately called the elephant's foot. There is still a lot of work left to do, but I am having a blast and enjoying sharing this project with you.
Prediction. This cable collapse. The government will have to pay millions of dollars and usher in a massive rescue team to try and save this person from their own tunnel. They will fail. This person will suffocate tragically under a mountain of rubble that they created using their Section 8 housing and tax credits instead of working a job. Then, an online news site will publish a timeline of the events. An internet historian will steal this carte blanche and make a video about the collapse and this person's suffocation. And then I will chastise him for plagiarism in the future, and that will piss off a bunch of my fans again. This is the future. This is an unavoidable timeline of events. Let's see more. Okay, so that's the general project. This is
my vegetable garden. It's been a bountiful year, not for vegetables, but for weeds. I have a small clump of strawberries and something that's supposed to be a trumpet vine, but I'm thinking it might be something else, and a foxglove, and a little bit of ragweed.
So why do you call it a vegetable garden if you didn't grow anything?
Love the smell of ragweed.
Oh my god, dude, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Most importantly is
the bald spot. Oh, that's tragic,
this
bro.
English ivy. It comes from my grandmother's backyard, which was overrun with the stuff years ago. I played in the ivy when I was a child, and during Easter she would hide plastic eggs with candy under the dense foliage. Unfortunately, she hated the ivy and spent years eradicating it. I dug up the very last shoot from her yard and brought it here, and now it's spreading.
The destruction of my ivy was one of the most traumatic events of my childhood. My grandmother was a Baptist, a Southern Baptist, and she hated gays and homosexuals. And when she caught me in my sister's dress, she made me put my hand in scalding hot water and beat me vigorously. But now she's dead, and I have inherited her house and have let ivy overtake her vegetable garden and are now digging a complicated tunnel system under her house so that I might find her grave and inure her remains. And then I will have the last laugh. Fuck you, Grandma. I have cracked the code. A castle? Man, he really does think this is Minecraft.
I love castles, especially medieval ones, but also Victorian Gothic revival country homes. One day I am going to construct one with stone walls, battlements, catacombs, alligator-filled moat, and a rusty drawbridge. I don't really have enough space in my small suburban plot, but that does not mean I can't build with stone. This foundation wall will eventually support a real stone wall built with the stone that I'm quarrying out from my secret tunnel system. I hate veneer rock walls. In fact, I abhor veneer anything. It is inauthentic, temporary, tacky, poor, nasty.
How can he afford this? Your taxes! Your taxes!
Taxes are strong-arm robbery. The collectors of taxes funnel the majority of funds to policies and institutions counterproductive of spiritual advancement. Well, taxes are stealing and taking the feeling that we're getting fucked in the ass. They take what they want to, whenever they want to, and on each they always the last. They lie, they cheat, they steal from you and me.
Good timing. Cool. One more. Actually, I'm enjoying the tunnel tranny. Yeah, I'm gonna feature this. Can I feature this? That's a good tagline, right? Michaela the tunnel tranny. Okay, one more. It's gonna take forever to load now because I refreshed the fucking page like a fucking retard. Fucking retard.
This is a problem. I've developed a nice automated process for removing rock from my tunnel system. Using this Landworks minecart, I am able to dump material directly into an elevator skip that I designed, but there is a constraint. I can only rent a dumpster for 2 weeks before accruing a daily surcharge. I cannot mine that fast. It is laborious to break through rock, and it takes 3 weeks or more to extract a full 10 cubic yards. So I end up staging the rock in my basement. This pile is 6 feet tall and contains 8 cubic yards. I am not complaining because there is nothing more rewarding than transferring rock from the pile to the chute. It feels like working in an old assembly line.
There is nothing more rewarding than transferring rock from a pile to a chute. Changed my mind. TTD, we're doing away with it. TTWC, Total Tranny Work Camps. This is a more ethical, a more humane solution. We take the trannies, we put them into quarries, we have them mine bauxite, chat. This is how we're going to save the future for everybody. Tunnel collapse or rock pile collapse, which will kill him. The tunnel collapse for sure. So I've already called it. I've already prognosticated the outcome of this. Okay, I have to know what this is. Apparently, he thinks his house is haunted. I guess because grandma still scalds him in his nightmares. So I have to know what this is about. He's got a really creepy
My
face.
house has two haunted areas. One is this troubled bedroom, and the second is this normal-looking closet. This video is about the closet. Originally, it had a reversed knob that can only be opened from the outside without a key. That detail is important. Oddly, I was not able to view the bedroom with that closet before buying the house, and it was still locked during the home inspection. I felt some suspicion, but after closing, everything seemed fine, and I rented it to a student who I had known for some time.
When I see trannies, it took me a second because I realized that the screeching and metal grinding noise that I was hearing in my head was not the normal fight or flight instinct that I get when I see a troon. This is actually, in case you're watching and you're confused, that noise is not coming from inside your head as per usual. That's actually added as an effect in the video.
One afternoon, one I will never forget, I was upstairs cooking with a few roommates and we heard a muffled pounding sound from downstairs. It was barely audible, but we went to check the student's room where the sound was coming from, and the door was locked. The lock was easy to open with a pin, but the room was empty. A moment of silence was broken by renewed racket from inside the closet. I unlocked the closet, and she came tumbling out. The horror in her eyes shook me. She said that the door slammed and locked by itself. After that day, she was a changed person. She stopped coming out of her room at all, unless during the night to pilfer some food from the kitchen. She wouldn't answer the door and stopped paying rent. Occasionally we would see her scurry into the room after we returned home from an outing. She looked thin and frail. After a few months, we stopped observing her presence. I was worried and entered her room. She was gone, and all her stuff was gone as well. I never heard from her again. Years later, one of my friends who stayed in the same room had a recurring dream of children being sucked into the closet by a dark force. In one, she was holding the child with all her might and repeatedly chanting a prayer. She woke up still chanting. At the time, she did not know about the earlier incident.
The inverse of this is like, woo, wait, is there like a spooky... let's see, royalty free spooky ambience, horror ambience, feedback. Okay. I had just come from New Delhi and I did not have much money. I found a room to rent on Airbnb. I started my studies and was failing all of my classes because my professor was a racist white man and did not like Indians. While I was living in my room, I would hear clanking sounds from the basement. I realized that the homeowner was digging a tunnel under the house. Children would come into the house and I would never see them again. She always assured me that they were fine and there was nothing to worry about or to call the police about. Then, one day, I walk in on the lady of the house on accident and I see that he is naked and has a penis. And I gasped and screamed. I had never seen a lady with a penis before. After that day, things were never the same again. He would sexually harass me and try to tell me that he would like to taste curry from my butt crack. It scared me so much, I never left my room. I would try to sneak food out at night, but then I realized that he knew I was doing this, so I just stayed in my room. And then I became very thin as I stopped eating. I asked my parents to book a flight back, and they did, and I left, never to return to America again. That's the other side. That's how this went down on the on the reverse, on the flip side. It's like this really happened. But then who was phone? Oh my god! There was somebody on the phone who was phone. It was a tranny. It was a tranny minor. he had dug all the way to Manhattan and linked. That would be a really awkward meetup. Like they're digging, and then he's like suddenly he connects to the Orthodox Jewish channels, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he like, "Rabbi, why do you have that small child with you?" And then the rabbi would be like, "Mahim, why do you have a small child with you?" And then they would they would take a second, they'd be stunned. There'd be really lots of tension in there, and then they would just start laughing and realizing that they were both raping kids. It was a really wholesome moment.
Thank you for watching this clip. This is the CACA. Remember to like and subscribe.